Hey, Torlando Hakes here with Craftsman Painter, your education coordinator. In a previous video, we talked about sprint goals in the context of networking, where the P meant performance driven. Now, performance drivers are the things that are in your control, and KPIs are the outcomes from the things you control. And they are key in becoming, they're key to you becoming an effective networker. Now, getting people to join your networking referral group isn't the end all be all. It is a KPI that that means that you've nurtured a person into becoming a member, an active member of your tribe. So what does that journey look like from finding that contact to becoming a member of your networking group? How can we do that authentically while also being performance driven? Well, we could do that by mapping out the journey in 5 stages that fit within the parameters of both performance and authenticity. Networking can be kind of uncomfortable, and it is typically uncomfortable for most people. Why? It's because it's pretty anxiety inducing. Research shows that we connect our self-worth to the number of people who like us. And so in that context, we all have that question like a kindergartner on the first day, what if nobody likes me, right? We get performance anxiety. What if I say the wrong thing? And the reality is, these groups can be kind of scary for people. Failing to make a great impression is it's a stressful thing to consider. So we want to empathize with that. We want to understand that part of the reason why people aren't coming to these things isn't just because they don't have enough time. A lot of times it's just because it makes them nervous, right? They're not sure that they're going to belong. They're not sure that they're going to be comfortable. They're not sure that they're going to be liked. So how do we overcome that? Well, there's an individual level, but then there's the level of what we can do, right? And so even in our own efforts to reach out to new people, some people in a networking group, they're there and they're like, I'm still not feeling comfortable with this, right? So we have to overcome this ourselves. And that requires a little bit of self-connectedness and a little bit of mindfulness, understanding where those feelings are coming from, where that anxiety is coming from, and moving from that system 1 thinking, which is all flight or fight, response system, to system 2 thinking, which is rational, controlled, and understanding what is the real reason why we're doing this, right? And so if we go in to the networking with a more promotion-focused orientation, where we're looking for positive opportunities, rather than a preventative-focused orientation, which means that we're warding off negative occurrences, we're likely to have better outcomes, right? And that makes a lot of sense. If we go into it with a positive attitude, saying, I'm going to make a great opportunity out of this, versus kind of our anxiety taking over, and now we're just trying to ward off everything that's not comfortable to us, we're going to fare a lot better. The research also shows that people who are future focused tend to have better outcomes in networking and of course in business. Got a quote here from the Harvard Business Review. It says, of the 3 dominant kinds of temporal focus, past, present, and future, a future-oriented focus where you contemplate upcoming events and envision what lies ahead can boost your propensity to network by 12%. So let's take a look at this framework here, starting with this word gather at the top. First thing that we're going to do is you're going to gather your dormant ties and focus on those new connections, right? What's a dormant tie? Dormant tie are all those connections that you have in the past that you just haven't talked to in a while. We want to focus on those warm connections because you already know who they are, and it's going to be a warm introduction. For new people, focus on what you want to ask, not what you want to say. Okay, just get curious with them. Get organized in how you manage your contacts in a CRM. Use LinkedIn or Facebook and even your phone contacts. Next is reach out. Okay, send a thinking of you message and be persistent with it. Maybe make a goal to send 2 to 3 text messages per day. Marissa King, who's a professor of business at the Yale School of Management, said every Friday I write down the names of 2 or 3 dormant ties and I reach out to them just to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Sometimes I will have an ask or something I'm hoping to get out of it, like feedback or a question, but mostly it's just reconnecting. That for me has been a source of great joy, but it has also been extraordinarily helpful. Next up is connect. Of the people that you reached out to, try to connect for a one-to-one. And in these one-to-ones, move to deep conversations rather than making small talk. It's surprising how much you can connect with somebody that you don't know very well. Intimate conversations prove greater happiness and connectedness even among strangers. So don't be afraid to get vulnerable, but focus on commonalities that connect, right? Stray away from controversial topics or personal opinions that some people have strong opinions about, right? Take on non-controversial topics like food or travel. You'll get down to business soon enough, to do your gains report and all that. But first, build trust and rapport. Kevin Rose, who's a longtime investor and entrepreneur, said, "I try to find something that is not small talk, but is also a mutual kind of interest. There's a bunch of wacky things I'm into. And so when people say, 'What have you been up to lately?' or 'What's new?' I could respond with something like how I'm trying to inoculate tree trunks to help grow lion's mane mushrooms. And typically someone responds with, 'Wow, tell me more.' Or they will share one of their wacky interests with me. It's something that is fun to talk about versus just being like, 'Oh, the weather sucks.'" We've all been there. Number 4 is engage. Okay, so be inclusive of the people that you don't recognize, of people who dress different, who come from diverse or marginalized backgrounds. Research has proven that diverse groups are stronger, more profitable groups. And then add those people that you've had those one-to-ones, with, add them to other one-to-ones with a fellow group member, or bring them to a power group meeting. Meeting in that smaller context will help them warm them up to the bigger, more intimidating meeting. When you're engaging in these groups, look for opportunity for dual promotion with your guests. Dual promotion compared to self-centered promotion is actually much more powerful and meaningful. There's a study with over 2,500 participants that showed that dual promotion builds perception of warmth without harming evaluations of a person's competence. You might actually look smarter if you promote others alongside yourself. Here's an example from Harvard Business Review. It says, "This project was very successful because of our teamwork. I took care of all the financial analysis, technical processes, and back-end design. Alex really impressed me with how he handled our client communications. We both took charge of what we do best, and it led to a great outcome." I have a personal experience with this where I was able to refer to Michelle a cabinet job. My team was able to do the nasty work of tearing down wallpaper and painting the walls a refreshing neutral color, while Michelle really saved the day by finding an economical choice for cabinets that allowed the customer to afford both projects, and she had a much better choice of color than the cabinet color the customer was going to go with. So that's where I'm doing a dual promotion of myself and Michelle, and the research shows that we're both better off rather than just me talking about my side of things. The last part here is to invite this person who we've engaged in our smaller groups and our one-to-ones to invite them to the big group, right? We want to build trust and rapport and help them to build trust and rapport with a few of the members that are in our group before they come, and that will make them more likely to accept an invitation on our networking group meetings. On building trust and rapport, make sure that you talk about things that matter the most to the other person first. Speak the same way they speak to you. Use your body to match and mirror. That's going to help them feel comfortable with you and make them feel that you're listening and that you're vibing together. Also, be of service to others in your group, right? Tribal members are a resource unto each other, right? So be a resource to people in the group, and make sure that those newcomers, that they are feeling like everyone here is a resource, and that we serve one another, right? Help people get the lay of the land. help people who have been in it for a while to know that they're not forgotten by the tribe. If we do these things, what will happen? Do these things, and your network will grow. And as they say, your network is your net worth. Failure to do so will leave you with lonelier and slow seasons. A lot of TikToks going at your office, a lot of wasted money on paid ads without a lot to show for it. Networking doesn't have to be anxiety-inducing, even for introverts. You can be an authentic networker.